Hey everyone, this is Nick from Tenacity.ai with my co-host Jason, and you're listening to the Cloud Cost Optimization Podcast. Today we got a short episode for you. We're going to talk about the requirements for your FinOps certification. So this is a question actually I've heard from a number of folks, just curious as to what sort of training that they maybe should have or should get if they want to practice in the field, or if they want to be organizing FinOps inside of their own organization. What is sort of that baseline of knowledge? And so I think we're going to talk about this in a couple of different stages. And I'll just state right out the front, there's an incredible resource from O'Reilly Books called Cloud FinOps. And second edition, you can order it on Amazon. There it is right there. And it's worth the $80. It's just chock full of great knowledge. So just from a base level, put this on your bookshelf so that you have it as a reference. There's so much that's in it, and it's so easy to navigate. Like the authors did an incredible job here of organizing information in a way that's easy from the table of contents to go to the place you need and actually contextually get what you need to know for that moment to brush up on what you need. So great resource. Jason, okay, so they got the book. It's on their shelf. They have, they now have a reference. What should they be doing next to give themselves that base level of practitioner knowledge?
Well, I think just listen, it's $600, $599 for the FinOps certified course materials and the exam. I can't imagine that wouldn't get approved by most organizations. Petty cash budget, right? So $600. The book gives you, or the guide, the O'Reilly guide, gives you great base knowledge. In fact, most of the knowledge that you need to pass the practitioner exam is contained in the book or contained on their website. I did find that when I did the practitioner course, that the modules were helpful and they weren't long at all. The little guided course that they take you through was helpful because, the questions of the test are kind of aligned around everything that's in the modules. So, there were certain things that, you don't remember, little insignificant things that you don't remember off the top of your head that really help. But I would say if you have a base level of FinOps knowledge, and you've been doing it for more than a few months, right? You didn't just pick up the book yesterday, then you should have no problem getting a passing score on the practitioner exam because you just need 75% to pass. So,
$600 is within the range too of an individual. So if Correct. You're an individual looking to make this, career move, you're working in a software development field or a cloud ops field, et cetera, or a number of other fields. But, that's within I think that they're pricing it within the realm of affordability. So you can get Correct. Your organization to pay for it, or potentially you could take it yourself as you're looking for a career transition, career move.
And it also gives you then beyond that, gives you the ability to take other exams, right? Because you have to do that first, but it also gives you access to the community itself. So, you have to apply to the community, and one of the prerequisites to apply to the community is that you're a practitioner, at least a practitioner. So, that is another benefit you get. And that membership gives you, FinOps Foundation has a Slack channel that they invite you to where you get to network and talk with FinOps specific people from the FinOps Foundation. And then also there's a number of other Slack channels with just people to network in who are part of the FinOps community. So they're trying to build a community around FinOps. They're doing a pretty good job of it. And then some other ancillary things that you get from being a certified individual in FinOps.
Awesome. So the next level of certification, that starts to move into a much bigger commitment and moves into a pricing realm where you're probably looking for an organization to support you in going and getting that certification. So that would be the FinOps certified professional. Jason, you want to talk a little bit about what what that entails from a commitment perspective?
Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive. I think it's $3,750, something like that. So somewhere between $3,500 and $4,000. Quite a bit more time involved. You do need to, with the certified practitioner, I believe you can just take the exam. You don't actually need to go through the module, even though I found it helpful. I just recommend it. With the professional certification, you got to go through all the modules. You've got to do a couple other things, attend a couple of live sessions, and it's like the time involved for me with a base level of knowledge for the practitioner exam was primarily, in the module, going through the module, right? It took me 35 minutes to take the exam. So it was about a half day for me total. That's one module and one exam. There's 40 modules in the professional course. So you're looking at more weeks to months, depending on, how much time you actually have to dedicate to it. And then you need to be a practitioner, a certified practitioner, to even take this test. And again, I think I've said this a couple times to you. I don't know how they measure this, but you need at least 6 months of FinOps work experience. So I don't know. I don't exactly know how they measure that. Are they like checking to make sure? I have no idea. It seems somewhat arbitrary in my opinion. Like if I want to pay you $37.50 and I want to go through all the modules, I'm pretty sure I could pass. And what if I have 5.5 months of FinOps work experience? Are you going to? They literally say they're going to remove you from the course and give you a refund if you don't have 6 months worth of work experience. I found it somewhat comical, but nonetheless, you need 6 months of work experience. So, and you do in general. You also need a base level understanding of what the cloud is and what the terminology in the cloud. In fact, I would recommend to anybody who doesn't that they also take the AWS. What's the cloud? Is AWS Cloud Practitioner?
AWS Cloud Practitioner. So now this is not a requirement to take the FinOps Certified Professional. So we went through those requirements, but getting into what would Nick and Jason recommend to any of our customers who we're talking to about implementing FinOps inside of the organization, going on a fast track, or talking to professionals who want to be in the space? Absolutely, the AWS Cloud Practitioner certification is a really good place to start. The FinOps Foundation does recommend that you have at least a certification from one of the big three, AWS, Azure, or Google. I personally am going to recommend that you have knowledge of, or go and, if you're looking for that knowledge, go and actually take the foundational level certification courses and exam for each of them.
Yeah, like the cloud practitioner, you don't even probably need to take the exam. Just go through the free training that AWS gives you on it, because it just gives you, it's just the base knowledge of terminology in the cloud. And Azure has one, GCP has one as well. So pick the one that's more applicable for your organization. But yeah, they do recommend that. And it gives you the base knowledge to understand, because listen, if you're in finance, engineers are going to be coming to you with terminology that you might not understand that's cloud specific. And if you're an engineer, finance people are going to be talking to you about terminology that you might not quite understand or use on a day-to-day basis. And so for anyone trying to get into FinOps that doesn't have a base level of understanding of what the cloud is, what it does, and some of the terminology, definitely take one of the practitioner courses.
So let me add to that recommendation. Let me bifurcate that a little bit. If you're doing this for your organization because you want to implement FinOps for your organization, take the certification exam path that matches your organization's usage.
Sure.
That's the one to do. Yeah. So you got AWS Cloud Practitioner. You've got, Azure Foundation?
Business something.
Fundamentals, sorry.
Fundamentals, yeah, whatever.
Azure Fundamentals. And then you got the Google Cloud Digital Leader course that will be your baseline for your organization. If you're looking to make a career transition into being a FinOps professional, and you're going to be on the market looking for a role, and you want to be a FinOps practitioner inside of another organization, I would actually recommend going and taking all three. They're really a really low requirement to go get that knowledge. I would recommend doing it. As far as skills training, each of the providers has free training videos that you can use. Though Jason and I have both used, and I'll let Jason speak to his experiences here, but Jason and I both use like A Cloud Guru, really easy, fast pace videos. You can actually turn up the speed so that you can, actually do the labs side by side with the video while you're doing it. It actually is a really easy experience, especially as you move beyond sort of that practitioner level, or if you're coming at it with zero knowledge. It will help you acquire that knowledge fairly quickly, and it's inexpensive. It's a really inexpensive subscription. I also recommend taking certification practice tests. They're totally worth it. They shouldn't cost you any more than $15 to $20 to get a bundle, which will give you like six, a half dozen, 4 or 5 or a half dozen practice tests to take. There's a number of different websites you can get those from. You just want to make sure that they're official replica tests that you can take in order to practice for those certification exams, so that when you pay your fee to actually go take the proctored test, you're not throwing that away on a failure. You've gotten your failures out of the way in the practice exams.
Nice. Yep. I agree.
I would say sometimes the AWS exams can be a surprise.
They're always going to contain something that trips you up. That's for sure.
Oh man. I think like the solution architect associate one, like 80% of it's pretty easy, but there was some esoteric stuff on that too that I was like, whoa, it tripped me up in the practice exams. I knew then where to go back into the courses, and you and I both, we exchanged back and forth, like, where is this in the courses? Like, where do they teach you this? We had to really dig to find like the esoteric mention of, some rare fact that you needed to know in order to take the exam. And then once you had those few kind of trip you up questions figured out in your head, then the exam was super easy, right? Yeah. So it's just a function of
pretty soon
knowing ahead.
Chat GPT will know how to pass it, so we can just ask it.
Man, that's funny, because how are they going to? Yeah, going to be the people who are watching you take the exam are going to have to start watching out for that now.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Jason. What else? What else should they be thinking about if they're looking for a role, a FinOps role? To take on, and they want to make sure that they have the right set of experience. Anything else you can think of?
Well, I think if you have access to a cloud account, you get familiar with the billing tools that the providers give you, right? Just to get an understanding of what's out there. They're very complex. I mean, you go to AWS's cost manage. I don't know why they all got different names for these things. Cost Explorer, and you can poke around there, understand what they provide you. There's a lot of different stuff when you go into their billing management console and Cost Explorer. So get a familiarity with whether it's AWS, which I just mentioned, or Azure's cost and billing management module, and get familiar with what's out there. And there's also resources. AWS, GCP, and Azure provide a number of resources around financial operations. Google has a nice, I don't know if it's a white paper or guide on a Cloud Center of Excellence. That's a great resource. And AWS, just you Google AWS financial operations or FinOps, and you'll come up with a ton of different resources. And, you can always pick up the phone and reach out to us, because we'd be happy to talk to anybody about FinOps. It's what we do every single day. We live it and breathe it. So if you got any questions, hit us up on LinkedIn, hit us up on Twitter, send us an email. I mean, I think our contact information is everywhere at this point, right? So we'd be happy.
Absolutely. Or if you're too shy for that or don't want to do that, hit us up on Reddit, right?
Yeah,
we live out there in the /r/cloud cost optimization. Yeah. So, you can find us all over. We're always happy to spend 15 or 30 minutes with someone and
absolutely
talk through questions or just network, honestly. So, all right. I think that probably wraps the episode. Again, any comments, any questions, et cetera, send them over to us or drop them out in the subreddit. Head over to tenacity.ai, download the Cloud Cost Optimization Handbook. Give us any feedback. We would love your love to hear your comments and where we can improve the handbook. Certainly, it is a guide for navigating chaos as you drop into environments where there's a lot of work that needs to be done before you can get to the real work of optimization. So, always looking for feedback there, and you know where to find us, I guess. So,
Absolutely.
Jason, I don't think I have anything else. I think we're probably good. All right, man. Great. Thanks for listening. Like, subscribe, share if you would, and tune in next time for more on the Cloud Cost Optimization Podcast. Thanks, everyone.